and the mask, the social mask that we live by, the personas. I'd like to make a distinction of what they are and share with you the difference and what you can do about them and how you can live more authentically. So in order to do that, I have to address values again. It seems like everything I do talks about that. I guess that's why I wrote the book, The Values Factor. It's so core to human behavior. So listen carefully. As you list your life, your set of values, if you go in and do the value determination process, you'll find out that you have a hierarchy of values, things that are more important in your life and things that are less important in your life. And the highest values are things that obviously that are inspiring to you, and the things that are lower in the values are things you need motivation to get you to do. Whenever you're living by your highest values, your identity revolves around your highest value. So let's just give an example. If your highest value is your children, and you're 35 years old and you have 3 beautiful children, and they're all under the age of 5, and your focus is 100% those children, then if somebody asks you, who are you? You'll probably say, I'm a mother. If you're a 30 to 40-year-old business person and an entrepreneur wanting to grow a new company, and your highest value is being an entrepreneur, if somebody asks you, who are you? You say, I'm an entrepreneur. Your identity, your authenticity revolves around your highest value. Whoever you are, it revolves around what's most important to you. Your highest value is what's most important. But anytime you're living by lower values, you're less fulfilled. When you do, you have more subjectivity, no objectivity, and you're more volatile and unstable, and you have less fulfillment. And you look for immediate gratifications, and you tend to subordinate to other people, because anytime you're setting goals that aren't really important to you, you tend to procrastinate, hesitate, and frustrate. You tend to feel disempowered, and you tend to be more of a follower because you don't have confidence in yourself instead of a leader. So leaders are more authentic, and followers are typically more masked. Now let me explain what a mask is. I'm sure you've come across somebody in your life that has supported your highest value. And in so doing, you tend to put them on a pedestal, and you tend to look up to them. And when you do, you tend to minimize yourself to them. I'm sure you've had a time when you've met somebody that supported your values, and you thought, wow, they're very intelligent, or they're very successful, or maybe they're very wealthy, or maybe they have a better relationship, or they're more socially influential, or maybe they're better looking, or maybe they're more inspired and spiritual. Anytime you minimize yourself and exaggerate somebody else because they support your values and help feed that dopamine rush inside you, you tend to put them up on a pedestal and minimize yourself. Anytime you minimize yourself, you create a mask. You put on an aura or an aura around you that's not really you. See, when you exaggerate yourself or minimize yourself, you're not yourself. And when you minimize yourself around people that you put on pedestals, you'll put yourself in the pit, you got a mask on. You're not yourself. You've lost your authenticity. Now there's other times when you go around and the same time you're looking up to people, you're also looking down on people. And you see people that you think are less intelligent, less successful, less wealthy, less relationship capacitated, less socially, and maybe less physically, and less spiritually. Anytime you exaggerate yourself and minimize somebody, again, you put on a mask, and you put on a different aura around you. And that mask is a self-righteous mask. The 2 primary masks that people have is the exaggerated mask, the self-righteous mask, the pride mask, and the minimized mask, the shame mask, the minimization mask, the underdog. Anytime you go above or below, you create different behaviors. When you minimize yourself to people, you tend to sacrifice yourself for them altruistically. When you exaggerate people or exaggerate yourself to people, you tend to put on your narcissistic mask and sacrifice them for you. Instead of having fair exchange as an authentic person and trying to have equity and equanimity inside yourself, you automatically have these polarities. Anytime you're living by your highest values, you have more even-mindedness, more objectivity, and you're able to live more authentically because you're more of a leader. Anytime you're living by your lower values, you get more subjectivity. You tend to inject the values of people you put above you or project your values onto the people that you put below you. The 2 masks keep you from being authentic, keep you out of fair exchange, keep you from actually producing the greatest results in your life, and keep you disempowered. So putting on a mask, the persona that you're above or below and oscillating in an unstable environment is not the way you empower your life. But by setting down and doing priorities in your life and getting to high priorities and starting living by the ABCs, the highest priorities in life, and then living more objectively according to what your real true identity is, your highest value, increases the probability of your leadership, We call it integrity because you're not fractionated by all the different personas and masks you wear. You're integral. You're, in a sense, loving life because you see things on the way instead of in the way. You're not judging, you're loving. And when you judge and fragment yourself out, you disempower yourself. But when you love, you end up having what they call authenticity. And what's interesting is, if we put people on pedestals or pits and don't put them in our hearts, we lose our authenticity. We're in a world of judgment. But the second we actually live from our highest values and we have more resilience and adaptability and we have more even-mindedness and we see people and we level the playing field and realize that people around us are as important as the people inside us, we end up having more of a fair exchange. We accomplish more, we achieve more, and we get respected more. Wake up our leader. The key now to be authentic is to live by your highest priorities, not your lowest. And not subordinating to people by minimizing yourself or exaggerating yourself by exaggerating yourself and minimizing others. But put people in your heart. Don't put people above you or below you, put them in your heart. When you do, you have reflective awareness, you have the most powerful mind, and you live authentically and live with integrity. You're honest with who you are instead of lying about it by exaggerating and minimizing yourself. So if you want authenticity and live by being, not personas, you'll end up having the most power and most achievement and most greatness in your life, and you'll expand your horizons and do something amazing with your life. You make the greatest difference by being authentic because each person has a set of values, and whatever those values are unique. So if you're being true to your values, you're actually the most unique, which makes the biggest difference. But when you put on your mask, you just weakened your power to make a difference in the world. I know, asking thousands of people, how many of you want to make a difference? Every hand goes up. So if you want to make a difference in the world, you want to play a bigger game, you want to end up having the most power in life, you want to empower all areas of your life, be yourself. There's no persona or no mask or no fantasy you could ever impose on yourself which compete with the true you.